Hello everyone, welcome back, and in this video we will install Docker on a Ubuntu machine, and the version of Ubuntu we'll be using is 20.04. Okay, let us jump in. By the way, before we get into a Ubuntu machine, I would like to give you a quick overview of the steps we will be following. First, we will install any prereq packages, then add GPG key and Docker repository to the system, and then install Docker CE. All the steps that we'll be using are available right on docker.com website, and that's the URL. We will provide the URL as a resource, plus we will also provide all the instructions, the commands in a file as well. That way it's easy for you all to grab it and start applying the commands on your system. Well, that's it, and let's jump onto a Ubuntu machine and start installing Docker CE edition. Here is my Ubuntu terminal. On the left and the right, I have the Docker documentation open with all the instructions. The URL to this page and also the specific steps that we follow in this video will be provided to you as a resource. So on the terminal, let us first check the OS release details to see OS release. As you can see, it is Ubuntu 20.04. Clear this, and on the right hand side, let me quickly go over this page. So this page, as you can see, it has some OS requirements, so one of these versions will just work fine for you following this particular page. And then it's recommending to uninstall if you have older versions. And then we have installation instructions, and then this particular one, I want you to pay attention. If you want a specific version of Docker CE, then you will have to follow the instructions here. If not, what will happen is you will get the latest that is available at the point of installation. And if you don't install from a package, follow the instructions here. And if you want to get this whole thing as a script, as you can see, install using a convenience script, you can follow the instructions here. And if you want to uninstall after everything is done, you can do that as well. Okay, let us jump in and start the installation process. So the first step is to do apt get update. I'm going to copy that and run that. Okay, it is done. I'm going to install some packages that are required by the Docker. All I did was copy pasted them. It's done. Now it's time to add Docker's official GPG key. I'm going to copy this line here. That's done. And now let us you can run this to check the print if you want to. It's an optional step. And then we can add the repository. Copy this. Let me put it at the top, paste it there, enter. And now let us run the update one more time, because we just added the repository. Okay, that should update that. Now let us install the Docker. So it is apt install Docker CE, Docker CE CLI, and the containerd.io. Okay, the installation is done. Let us first check the Docker version that got installed. And so Docker version. We see the client version is 19.03, and we got permission denied while trying to connect to the Docker daemon. So the issue, this issue is more because of the permission. We can fix that by just doing a sudo, which will work. As you can see, now we have the server version as well. But in order to fix this issue, if you do not like using sudo every time you run the Docker command, then what we have to do is create a group called Docker, and we will have to add the user. I believe those instructions are here as well. I don't see that here. Oh yeah, they are here. So all we have to do is add the user to the Docker. So let me quickly do that. It would be a sudo group add Docker. So we created, looks like the Docker group is already there. Let me do Docker user mod ag Docker, and I'm logged in as training. So it is done. So let me create a new session. Can close the old one. So here, if I do Docker version, as you can see, I'm not using sudo anymore. So that's how you will fix that. It comes real handy, by the way. Now what we can do is we can run the Docker containers. So first, let me show you how you can list the existing containers. Docker ps, there's nothing running. If I do Docker images, there's nothing. Don't worry about Docker containers and images. We will look at that in the next video. But I'm just trying to show you that there's nothing there. So what we can do is just to make sure that things are working. Docker run hello world. If you had done any programming in any language, generally it's a pretty much like a traditional practice to write hello world program. Similar to that, along those lines, we have hello world container. If I do Docker hello world, Docker run hello world, what's happening is it is checking if the container is available online. I mean to say locally, it is not. So it is going online to Docker and getting the container for me. So what this did was it actually went and brought the container, I mean to say brought the image and ran it. And that particular container, all it does is it will just display this information for you. So if I were to do Docker ps to list the existing containers that are running, I have nothing running there. But if I do images this time, now I have hello world image. Okay, that's it. We are done with the installation. So we installed Docker CE on Ubuntu machine, and we verified the version, and we also added our account to Docker group so that we can run the Docker commands without using sudo. We looked at Docker ps command and Docker images command to list the containers and also see the images on the system. Well, we will revisit these commands in the upcoming videos, but just to give an idea, I have used these two commands. Well guys, that's it in this video, and I'll see you in the next.